In a Georgia community, somebody decided, well, to throw a bunch of racist flyers on the yards of individuals, including people of color, put it up full mass. We've actually seen this before, similar. Secure a white future. It reads, let's put up the other picture. It says, have more white babies. Let's keep it up. In Hampton, Georgia, a neighbor in the Legacy Lake subdivision says someone scattered racist flyers like you just saw, like you are seeing in driveways throughout the entire community. All of the neighbors were shocked to find the sandwich bags filled with corn kernels and what appeared to be racially motivated flyers. One of the neighbors posted a picture of a bag she found on her lawn. Inside was a sign that said secure white future. She said this, and I quote, as I'm backing out of the driveway, I actually see it, said Curtinia, the resident. She told Fox 5 News. She believes it is someone's attempt at promoting white supremacy. She asked not to reveal her last name out of fear of whoever did this. Quote, we've been here 10 years and have never encountered this. But to see it happen right now is just very surprising. The neighbor, who asked not to be named, said, it just makes you want to keep an eye on your surroundings. A Hampton city official confirmed the incident. It was not isolated. We are aware of the flyers left in driveways early Sunday morning. We are disgusted by the action of the person who did this. The city manager said the views of the flyers do not represent the views and the values of the city or its citizens. The flyer was disgusting and has no place in our society. The police have multiple leads in this investigation. Another resident, Shirley, says her mother received one of the bags. Quote, it's really sad, she said. I feel sorry for them because you don't want to take the time to do this and you want to bother people. You want to hate on people. Why don't you try love? Despite the bad taste and notes had put in the neighbors' mouths, they all told Fox 5 News they know none of this is reflective of the Hampton community that they call home. We all love each other and we all know each other, Shirley said. We are not about that. Cohillis says it is too early to determine what charges a potential suspect or suspects could face. The mayor's office released the following statement. The city of Hampton is disgusted by and condemns the actions of those responsible for the distribution of these hateful leaflets throughout our city. They are in no way representative of our city, our citizens, or our values. The Hampton Police Department, in conjunction with the Atlanta Field Office of the FBI, they are investigating the matter. So literally, these individuals took the time to weigh down the leaflet and put corn kernels inside of the Ziploc bag and print off these flyers, put them inside of the Ziploc bag as well, and then went through the community as if they were delivering the morning paper. The reason they did it this way is because Sunday morning, it was wet. It was wet in Hampton. It rained. And to protect the racist leaflet, they engaged in a process with a Ziploc bag and corn kernels. Now you have to think about this. Somebody or somebodies sat down in a room and literally engaged in packing these Ziploc bags with racist flyers that they printed and corn kernels. They went out into the community and threw that racism all over their neighborhood. Nobody has come forward with any information. The police are saying they're tracking down multiple leads, and these leads are significant. Now, what is this really about? It's psychological. It's psychological. This is psychological. They're not simply trying to intimidate black residents or non-white residents. They want to intimidate anyone who doesn't think like them, white or not, black or not. This is about creating fear, but also finding coalition members, because you know what else is on that leaflet? White supremacy and how to contact them. Now you have to think about this. These individuals are doing this under the what? Leadership of Trump? No, Trump isn't the president anymore. What are they doing it for? They were sparked. They were motivated. 8 years of President Barack Obama did not bring this, but 4 years of Trump did. These people have always been among us. They probably always will, but there's now more of a aggression connected to this type of behavior. Doctor, tell us about the aggression that your research has shown, and why is this aggression happening in ways today that we did not see under the leadership of President Barack Obama? And it seems counterintuitive. It seems as if that's when you would have seen more of it rather than less. But based on the statistics, we see more of it now than we did even then.
I hope it is a coming together moment. I mean, I take that quote in the article at face value that maybe this is a moment where people come together. I mean, there are past histories, when the Nazis marched in Skokie, the whole town came together and said, this is not who we are. A lot of these examples, though, are from before the last 5 years or 8 years or whatever, when people are divided up. And so there's so much money and energy and power in divisiveness right now. And I kind of had the same questions you did, right? Which is, have these people always been among us, and it's just that they didn't have a voice before? I mean, certainly I think one of the big issues in answer to your question is that there's power in this now, that like an extreme position is not extreme anymore. An extreme position is a mainstream position, and it's tied to some of the stuff, these Trump ads where it's like, we're going to get you back and all this kind of stuff. Like there's a promise of power in Trumpism, which is you're going to be in power, and it brings these extreme positions into the mainstream. And the question is like, how do you fight back? Well, you fight back the way that quote said, which is we come together and say this isn't us and this isn't what we stand for. But what wasn't true before when Obama was president and is true now with Trump lurking in like Peter Lorre here, is that there's a promise of power and retribution, and we're going to get back at our enemies, and it's us against the world and stuff like that. And so community really is the way to fight back against that. But it's dark and it's powerful right now. And in a way, what's scary about this isn't that there's this message. I mean, we've had, people supporting the Nazis in this country and the John Birch Society in this country and the Klan and everything. But it's more that there's a promise that we're going to like take over and get even with everybody. So the fact that this carries such power right now, I think is really what's the terrifying part about this.
I concur with you that it will take a coalition, a community of individuals who are of various backgrounds standing up and saying no. And when you look at the numbers, the majority of white Americans, they don't feel this way. The majority of Republicans, according to statistics and surveys, they don't feel this way. And the majority of Republicans don't even support Trump based on their voting record, because Trump never won one state in the Republican primary at a margin of 50% plus. So the vast majority of Republicans, even in the Republican primary, would vote against Donald Trump. But he was able to carry a significant number of voters in every state consistently, and that gave him the nomination. So I say that to empower individuals, to let them know you are actually in the majority. If you stand against this foolishness, you are in the majority. You stand with people in the majority. But when you are silent, that silent becomes a vehicle to empower the opposite side. So know what you're doing when you step back and say nothing.